So here's one of the Hayward AquaTrol chlorine generators, salt generators that I bought, spent way too much money for. You know, it takes the salt in your pool and converts it into chlorine. Here's the actual salt generator. But the problem I ran into is I'm always getting all kinds of errors. You know, inspect the cell, high salt, check the salt. You know, and it would always kick off and not produce anything, you know, unless the salt was exactly between 2,700 to 3,400 ppms, you know, and like see all the time, inspect the cell, check the salt. You know, you can't adjust it, can't do anything, constantly turning it off, back on, trying to adjust the salt, put salt in the pool, take salt out of the pool. It just got to be a hassle. Well, what I did was I went ahead and just eliminated this whole thing, because this salt generator will generate chlorine as long as it has some voltage to it. And that's what this does. You know, once the salt is right, and you know, and then this thing will kick on the voltage transformer in here and throw out voltage down to the chlorinator and make chlorine for the pool. Well, it doesn't work all the time. You know, it's always got to be out of whack. Something's not right, and I just got tired of it. So I put together a hack. Hold on. Okay, so I'm here in my garage with what I've put together to bypass that whole system. So my idea was just to put voltage to the salt generator, you know, all the time. Why wait for that thing to be in calibration? It was just a big pain in the butt. So I got this. It's basically a step down transformer. It takes 110. You run it up here and just connect it to the terminals. And then what you got to do is you got to take your salt generator and you got to cut the end off of it. And here, you know, the actual plug that plugs into the AquaTrol thing out there. You cut the plug off. You got to separate the wires. There's a bunch of colored wires in there, the little smaller ones. They're for sensing how much salt is in the water. But the blacks and the whites are the ones that you need if you're going to do this. You got to get you a step down transformer and hook your you know, your whites to your negative, your blacks to your positive, and hook up your 110. So that's what I did. I ran the cord over to the salt generator, and right now it's plugged in. It's only producing about 1.3 volts. So now, and here's the adjusting plug right here, or knob. I can adjust this up and down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust this up to say like 24 volts. We'll put it right here. You can see there's nothing being produced right now in the water, and it takes a few seconds for it to fire up. So let me crank this thing up to about, let me just crank it all the way up to 40 volts. 40 volts, and that's when it really starts to crank out some chlorine. Now we're at 45.9 volts. If you watch the end here, see it's starting to pour out. See the chlorine? It's pouring out right there on that end. You can see, oh, there you can see better without the light. I'll go to the other end over here. Now, normally you'd have, you know, water flowing through this, you know, at a higher rate, and this stuff would be flying out of here. But you can see the chlorine coming out. Let me get the right angle here. See, there we go, right there. That's chlorine being produced. And it's just flowing out both sides because there's no flow going in and one end and not the other. But this is producing chlorine now. You can see the bubbles coming out. It's starting to get going pretty good. Anyway, you don't need that big AquaTrol thing out there always going bad and telling you adjust this, adjust that, too much salt. You can see we got 47 volts flowing through this thing right now. 47 volts. I can smell the chlorine. You can see it in the water. The thing is moving in the water. Look, it's like wanting to come out of the water. It's moving. Anyway, if anybody's interested in this hack, you know, just shoot me a message. This has a built-in cooler too. It's got a cooling fan to keep it cool. You can see it bubbling, producing chlorine. Now I'll show you what I actually did outside. How I actually have it mounted, and I'm actually using it. I have it on a timer, and it only runs at night. I only have it running at night over between like 8 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. It runs at full bore because it's cooler at night. In the daytime, I had this thing running. It would get pretty warm, so I didn't want it to be getting too hot in the hot sun. So I run it at night, and it's doing a great job. Look at this thing. That's chlorine. I can smell it. You can't smell it, but trust me, I can smell it. So anyway, it's 47 volts. I usually keep it right around 40, but it's been working great. I'm gonna go out to the pool now. Hold on, and I'll show you how the pool looks. So I'm out here at the pool. I just have it hanging right here by my filtration system right outside the door. I just have it hanging right here. It gets a good amount of air flow through here. I just hooked up my chlorinator, comes down, and I bought a different chlorinator too, a salt cell. I bought one of these bigger ones. This is for 15,000 gallons, or no, 20,000 gallons. And you can see the bubbles flowing through there. It's producing chlorine, and it works really well. But I'm going to take that unit out there. I'm going to get a box similar to this AquaTrol box and mount it in there real nice, you know, and hook it up to the timer so it comes on, you know, 8 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. And let me take you inside here to show you the pool, how it looks. My water it's never been this clear ever. Look how clear that water is. You can see how clear it is. You can see the drain down there. This water is crystal clear. And I run it at night. I've been running it now for about, I don't know, 4 days. It works great. I got a variable speed pump. This water is as crystal clear as it can get. Doesn't get any clearer than that. So you don't need that big fancy box, spending, I think it's like $1,500 or something like that for that box, maybe even more. All you need is a salt cell you can get online. Mine came, I don't know where it came from, but it came in about 7 days. I got that salt cell, and I bought it. I think it came out of Australia, I'm not sure, but that's it. You plug it in and crank it up to about 40 volts. You're good to go. You don't need that big fancy box. Thanks for watching.